Hello everyone, Espurr here. Now, what do we have today? We have a game on Undertow Zones. We're watching the Stringer. Now, this is not where I would roll out, but okay. Now we see a bamboo here. You are going to get insta-killed. Yeah, even though bamboos don't have MPU anymore, you still need to be careful not to get into their range, because they are still very deadly. Anyways, go over here. There's no reason to paint the zone. The zone's already painted. Actions happening to the right. Are you... You should have capped zone. Why didn't you cap zone? Let's look at the zone and see what was happening. So, let's see who was there. We'll watch you. I mean, you. So your arrow hit the corner. Hit the corner again. It basically hit the corner again. And that's the time when you change. Okay. So, I think what was happening there was, well, no, not I think. I know what was happening there. You hit one spot, and you kept hitting that one spot, which meant that you weren't painting any more than you originally were. So when you're painting the zone in that sort of position, what you want to do is charge up, try to hit the corner, charge up a little bit more, then a little bit more, then a little bit more, so that you cover the entire zone. Yeah. Here, I mean, they weren't pushing you. Yeah, you're just shooting a few shots just to make sure you don't get insta-rushed. That's good. You're doing a better job of keeping your distance. That being said, that wasn't amazing for keeping your distance, but they rushed you. And you dealt with it alright. And there you go. There you painted the zone correctly. It was just the fact that you couldn't see it. Yeah, so when you can't see when you're painting the zone, you do want to make sure you charge less than more and more and more and more. There you go. You're doing a fair job at holding your ground. I can tell it's hard for the enemy to push up. Yeah, you don't get the direct, but with Tri-Stringer, you shouldn't expect to get the direct. Shouldn't expect to get the one shot, because even if you do hit a direct, you're kind of not guaranteed to get a kill. Anyways, yeah, you understand you need to run. It wouldn't be a bad idea to pop a disruptor here, or a toxic mist down here, so that when they do chase you, because they are going to chase you, they get slowed. And you do that. There you go. I would not hold here. The enemy is the enemy... Yeah, or... I can't speak. Enemy, pop their specials. They earn that territory. Give it up so that you don't instantly die. You're being chased by a shot, but your teammates come in. You're just trying to paint zone, and now you're trying to go for the kill, and that's fine. You pop your thing so that they don't push in, because you recognize they could push in with this. There we go. Now you can push in a little bit more, and you push in a little bit more. Not too much, and that's fine. There are a lot of kill whales being popped by the enemy team. I guess they do have two whale users. Yeah. I'm surprised that the 52 didn't just rush you when they were trying to paint the zone. I feel like they're giving a bit too much respect. Or giving the just Stringer in general too much respect. But, alright, sure. This isn't about them, this is about you. And in terms of what you're doing fine. And I say that, and then you instantly die. Commentator's curse. Alright, let's see. So here... Okay. So let's go back and see why that wasn't the best idea. So you know your team is dying. You know the enemy's in mid. You go up. You want to go for zone. You know a wall is there. What does that wall tell you? it tells you that a 52 is around there somewhere. That wall is about half health, so the 52 can't be too far away. And usually 52s stay by their walls. So what that means is if you push up, you're going to encounter a 52. Now in this position, I would not want to fight a 52. They'd be behind the wall, they can shoot me, I can't shoot them. That would mean I die. So instead, what would be better to do is to back off, take out the wall first, and then push in. But don't push in too much, so that, don't push in too much. Like this position is still dangerous even if the wall wasn't there, because they could still rush you, because map geometry. You can't see them until they're in shooting range. Or like their range to shoot you. And by that point, you kind of already lost. Here, you managed to get away because you popped the Toxic Mist, which bought you some time, and that's good. You're trying to paint zone. Yeah, you're doing fine. You're doing a very good job at holding the zones, actually. Good job. Now you're trying to get that zone. There you go, you get it. There was one thing I want to point out here. Let's go back and see what is happening. Okay, there we go. Bamboo's over to the left. If the bamboo really wanted to, they might be able to kill you. Not really. They didn't make any moves that seemed like they wanted to try to kill you, so you were fine. You're fine. Here, that was a bit dangerous. That bamboo should be trying to kill you, and they did try to kill you. If the bamboo played just a bit faster, I think they would have been able to get the kill on you. Oh my god, I can't speak. Let's see, is this a fine position? Considering your teammates aren't moving up any further than this, yeah, it's okay. They should be moving further up. They can take the space, but they aren't. I would also recommend staying away from other backlines or other anchors, because you are a backline. You are an anchor as a tri-stringer, and by being in the same place as another anchor, you're denying the same space. So you're overlapping your areas of control. Now, if a ballpoint was somewhere, I don't want to go in there. And let's say if a tri-string was there as well, I doubly don't want to go in there. But I already don't want to go in there. I really don't want to go into the space controlled by a ballpoint. So then, what's the point of you being right next to the ballpoint? What you should be trying to do is trying to take positions where the ballpoint cannot influence something. What that would mean is if ballpoint's on the left side of this map, you'd be on the right. Ballpoint's on the right, you'd be on the left. So in here, you want to identify the ballpoint's looking at the right. You want to be like, alright, if you're looking at the right, I want to look at the left. So then you look at the left. And on this map, you have the distinct advantage of influencing the right side while being on the left. Because, you know, your shots arc. There you go. There you might have wanted to paint for your roller instead of charging up a shot. Just the roller might get out alive. Oh, whatever. Yeah. Okay. You saw that shots were coming in from the left by a slosher. Tri-sloshers like to run in and just go for kills, basically. So what that should tell you is that a tri-slosher is going to pop out a wall and, you know, do what it did. Shoot you. Anyways, you're approaching this. I very much like what you did. So you identified, okay, dropping down isn't a good idea. But because my shots can arc, instead, I'm going to stay on this ledge, away from the edge, where the tri-slosher could slosh me, shoot up in the air, arc my shots so that they land on the ground, and paint wherever I want to go. And you know what? That is a very good way to work around the fact that you don't have a lethal bomb. A lethal bomb being a burst bomb, splat bomb, suction bomb, auto bomb. I mean, technically curling bomb, but not really. A lot of people wouldn't even consider auto bomb to be that. Auto bomb isn't that great of a lethal bomb. But anyways, You pop the whale to come back in. There you go. That's good. Painting for zone. You get the kills, and there you go. I think you played the game fine. Like, you could have, of course, done better. But this game was fine. I think you did fine. Overall splatter, zone inker, guard, and... Alright. I keep forgetting to go to the transition. Anyways, that was their good game. So, let's see their bad game. Now, they mention here that they still won this game, but that they feel like their kills just didn't really matter. You know, that can certainly happen. Anyways, this is Clams on Scorch Gorge. Let's see where they roll out. Alright, so he goes to the left. There are two places at backline to go on this map, either to the left or to the right. By right, I mean at like that little platform there. They don't want to drop down. That's dumb. That means you can be easily rushed, and you probably know that. Here we go. You're trying to hit behind the ledge. There you go. Good, good. That kill mattered. I'm gonna be focusing on like whether or not your kills had an impact. Because that's what you were saying in this map. You felt like this match, your kills just didn't matter. That kill mattered. It got the pro off of mid, and it lets your teammates push the other sides. Now someone's gonna be rushing you. You want to run. Let's see. That's a crab. You want to run even. I mean, they're letting you do this. I don't think you should have to use a whale over here. I felt like that whales. I used to think that whales were a good counter to crabs. Not really. Not really, in my opinion. You don't. If you pop a special to counter a special, you want to counter it, like, counter it completely. You're trading a special for a special. But all a whale does is make the crab move. And after the whale ends, they can just shoot again. And granted, you are taking out the charge, but it's not going to amount for much. Anyways, you jump in, throw in the ball. According to your thought process of, yeah, I can grab ball, I can jump in. There wasn't too much you could do. So I'm not going to blame you for that, for dying there. It's reasonable. Or can I? Hold on. Let's go back, actually. Let's go back. So they tell you to jump. You have a ball. You know that the enemy is dead. They're spamming this way. Now the question is, do you go in? I would say yes. Technically going in isn't the best idea, actually. But from what you saw, and from what the data you gather, going in wouldn't have been a bad idea. When you made the decision to go in, you didn't see the pros on the top left. And when you saw the pros on the top left, you were already committed and should have went in anyways. So, yeah. That was all pretty reasonable. Anyways, you know pros on top. They need to get off. They get off, but towards your base. You get missiled and... Yeah. Okay. I think I've told you this already. You shouldn't be going into those kind of fights. You already know that. You've already been trying to, like... You've been doing a really good job of keeping your distance. And the missiles kind of forced you to take this fight. That, you know, you wouldn't really have won. Oh, that was a junior. I thought it was a pro. Okay. Maybe if you kept your distance, you would have, like, you know, won, but you were being missiled. You couldn't really keep your distance. Anyways, Can that guy shut up? Whatever. You do not want to drop here. So, let's evaluate your positions here. This is a good position. You can flush your teammates out of the basket, which you're doing right now. And, additionally, you can keep them held at that ramp. You can just keep spamming shots at that ramp, and they can't go up without taking terrible amounts of damage. Terrible in a good way for you. I think they want to take, like, they take, like, 80 damage or something. Like, 40 to 80. which basically means you can be comboed into a kill. No one really wants to take that. But by dropping here, what you're doing is you still have those same things. You still have those same qualities where I can shoot arrows at that ramp. You still have that advantage, but now you have the disadvantage of them being able to push you and kill you. So what you did by jumping from this little from that ledge over there down to basket, down to here, is you just made yourself more vulnerable. In general, you tend to not want to give up high ground. Because high ground is where you can... High ground is harder to push. It's hard to push someone under high ground, or in high ground, or on high ground, whatever, when they are on high ground. Anyways, you get a kill, you have the momentum, you pop this. You notice that someone's over here, you're over here to make sure you... I'm not 100% sure, and I think you're going to get rushed. Do you get rushed? No, you don't. Here's why I thought you would have gotten rushed. So you know someone's over to the left. And... Okay, so they immediately ran to basket. I didn't know that. And if I was them, I would have stayed over here. If I was whoever was getting raid, or whatever, wailed, I would have stayed over here, waited for the stringer to either forget me, or to, like, or just waited here so the stringer couldn't push and help its team. That would be okay. Overall, I don't think this was the best decision, but, I mean, you're not getting punished for it. If you did see the person run to their basket, then this decision would have been fine. But I do think you're vulnerable from the top left, because someone could rush you and could immediately kill you. A better spot... Okay. After this match, I will show you a better spot for pushing into the basket. It's where I would normally go. Anyways, what your job is now is to hold this is to basically be an anchor. Hold the basket and prevent the enemy team from pushing. Let's see if you realize that. Okay, you're getting missiled, so... Okay, now your team is dead. Okay, there wasn't really much you could do. I said that was your job, but in order to do your job, you need to not be displaced. So you couldn't do your job. Yeah, okay. I won't fault you for that. You were missiled. You had to move. Now you get your special. Someone pops crab. That's an enemy crab. Okay. Your enemies are doing a pretty good job, actually. Not enemies, teammates. Teammates. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You're missiled again. So you just gotta make sure you don't kill anyone with your missiles and don't kill yourself with them. That's what you do. You're back here way too long. When could you have pushed up? Because right now you're spending how much time doing nothing? I'll give you this benchmark. A fight can happen a fight can start and end, or a team fight rather. A team fight can start and end in 6 seconds. Another fight can happen in, is it like 15, I'd say? I don't know how much time to respawn, the amount of time it takes to get to where the fight actually is, and then the amount of fight it needs to for the fight to actually happen. So here, can't really push. Now you can. You're missiled. Yeah, you could have backed up to make sure you were safe, but I think you could have also went forward. Because think about this. If you push up, those missiles would be behind you, but you already want to push up anyways. So all you have to do when the missiles are done is just paint behind you a bit, and then go back. Instead here, the entire time you were being missiled, you were denying your teammates reinforcements. Anyways, here, I think you spent 4 seconds being missiled. No, more like 3. More like 3 seconds. And then... No, I'm gonna go back and really make sure. I don't want to give a guesstimate. Okay, so here. You're missiled. Okay, so here you could push up. So at 155, you could have pushed up. Alright. And now it is 139 until you actually start being relevant to the fight. Actually, no, wait, no. Okay, I'll mark it when you actually use that first shot. 138 when you could have actually been relevant to that fight. So from 155 to 138, that would be about let's see, that's like 17 seconds. So that's enough time for your teammates to have engaged in a fight, for it to have been closed out, or like for it to have ended, and then enough time for the enemy team to have respawned and start another fight. Or for your team to... Basically, it's way more than enough time for your teammates to start and finish a fight. And finish a fight doesn't necessarily mean win a fight. No, it means because you weren't engaged for that long period of time, that meant that more or less would have meant that your teammates would have lost a fight because they were, down a player. Actually, down 2 players because a teammate was doing the same thing that you were doing. What I would have recommended instead would have been to, instead of backing up with that missile, see that, okay, I could back up, but I could also go forward because there are no enemies in front of me. So go forward, missiles are behind me, I'm still heading forward, and I could reinforce my team in like 3 seconds. So a downtime of 17 seconds versus 3 seconds. Of course, the 3 seconds is better, but I don't think you identified as that is an option. So here's the option. If you don't see any enemies ahead of you, and you're being missiled, and you can, go forward, then it's a good idea to do it, so that the missiles don't keep you back for too long. Anyways, you're going after the crab. You miss, but whatever. By miss, I mean you didn't hit the guy on the back. Anyways, you'd pop in this here to make sure you don't get rushed. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, and you gotta go back because, or you can go here. Actually, yeah, good idea. You went here, you had the missiles, you had the grates above you block the missiles. Sadly, your left completely fell because no one went there. Which, yeah, I don't think anyone really wanted to go there, so that's reasonable. Let's see. So you try to push in through here. Yeah. Your concern shouldn't be throwing clams to your teammates at the moment. Your concern should be, killing people. Alright. Teammates end up losing the fight, but this is still a good push. You guys still, like, what is it? Score a lot of points, and that's fine. Correctly broke the basket, then threw in a power clam, and then scored 4 or 5 clams. Yeah, that's fine. That kill actually matters a lot, because the enemy team needs to push now. Yeah, and they try to push now. You throw the disruptor so that they can't really push in all too easily. Throw a disruptor over here so they still can't push in too easily. Yeah, that kill you got against the splash mattered a lot. And that disruptor, if what is it? If the guy didn't die immediately, the guy who was crossing the bridge didn't die immediately, then that would have mattered a lot. Because, you would have killed them easily. Because they were disrupted. Anyways, I'm going to go into... what is it called? I'm going to go into recon and do the thing. What is the thing? It is go to clams on Scorch Gorge to tell you or to show you what'll be good position. Actually, I'm going to use a stringer first. Where's the stringer? There's the stringer. Here we go. Hello, Miss Fish. Clamblets, Scorch. There we go. So here is where I would go on this map. Because the reason why you weren't getting as many kills as you could have on Scorch Gorge was because it doesn't really seem like you know where all the proper positions are in this map. I mean, you do know a fair amount of them, but there's one position I want to show you. So here, you had to look at this spot. This was the area that you can influence. Now, oh, and you can also influence this area. Now, let's say I'm a shooter. Which areas do I care about? I care about this area. I care about this area. Which areas can you influence? That area, that area. This area doesn't matter if I'm pushing the basket. This area does, but only if like a pro or something is on there. Which is really important. But I mean, you aren't covering the basket. And if you want to cover the basket, you need to push ahead of this. You need to push up here, which makes you vulnerable to this. But you don't have to do that. Instead, seek the high ground. Try to go for the high ground. And now you can look at this, and you can look at this, and you can look at this. And if this is clear, you can push up a bit more. Though pushing up, I would want to warn. If someone does push up to like, here, you could very easily just, like, let's say I'm a pro or a squeeze or something. Boop, boop, boop. Dead. You want to be careful about that. You want to make sure if you do push up, there aren't any long range weapons. But if you do want to push up, what you can do is pop this. And now it's time to... I missed. I meant to pop it here. And now, look at this. Look at this. You can shoot all of this. And if you have a ball, there you go. So don't try to start the pushes from here. I can tell you went over here. I think because you saw that left just wasn't really doing it for you, and you weren't really able to do too much. But up here is the best spot. And I'll tell you why this spot is so much better. It's because you have this high ground. You can see what's happening here. And you can't really see what's happening behind here, but you're a stringer, just shoot. Just shoot over it. And you can still see what's happening here. You have all this vision. That is a big reason why, high ground is so good for backlines and for anchors. It's because of vision. So, next time you play a game and you aren't sure where to stand, try to go for the place with high ground. Try to go for the highest place. That tends to be the rule of thumb for deciding positions. Go for the high ground. But anyways, that's it for today. See y'all.